This is Service Thinking with Blackie Chad, and today's episode is sponsored by Vmood Candle. Vmood, that's Vimood Candle. VmoodCandle.com for purchasing. These candles come with playlists. They go with the vibe. Each candle is curated to go specifically with the playlist. It just a beautiful thing. Check out VmoodCandle.com. And today I'm so excited, as I always say, because I finally got somebody here who I've been vetting for 2 years, I'm going to say, to finally have this interview happen. I'm here with Lena today. Thank you.
Oh, man. Chad, what's up, man?
So you already know the vibe. So this is a person that we have the most intriguing, deep conversations that, like, I wish that I could just record them Jones every time because we have it's just, like, so memorable. And it's crazy because when I first knew of you, I think I told you this before, I ain't like you.
Yeah.
Like, I just didn't like you. And it's young ignorance of, like, not knowing you. But it's just like, she just got this aura. It's a cockiness. It's an arrogance.
It don't even make you want to get to know her.
It's like, yo. But my question first off is, like, do you feel like a lot of people feel that way?
I feel like a lot of people felt that way.
What is it, though?
I literally was ignorant. You feel me?
Okay.
Like, when I was young and arrogant and cocky, I didn't care to meet new people. I didn't care to network, vibe with you, get to know you, nothing. Everything was like, I was an introvert. You feel me?
So what changed? Because you're definitely not like that now.
1,000%. It overall and all in all, the whole entire time, it was just me, Chad. Like, I wasn't 100% confident with myself as a person. I was very insecure. I was depressed.
Okay.
I was just stuck in my own head. You feel me? And I just so happened to rap while doing that. And I would say that rapping was the only thing that kind of like helped that. But it kind of made it worse in a sense because I was so insecure that the least amount of attention that I got, I didn't know what to do with it. I was walking around with my head stuck in my ass like people needed me. It was petty, and God set me down. So for you, I hear the growth. So what happened or what things transpired for you to realize that it was insecurities? Just self-reflecting.
Okay.
I've grown a lot. I'll be talking about my growth more than anything because I be geeking over that shit. Right. But I've grown a lot, and it took a lot of acknowledging the flaws in myself. It took a lot of understanding who I was first, and what I realized was that I was miserable first. And in order to change a behavior, you have to understand the behavior you're changing, if that makes sense. Yeah, like sure. You can't just wake up and just want to change. What is it that you're trying to change? And I was unhappy though. You feel me? Like being that type of person, I was unhappy with it. So I just wanted to be happy, and I realized what made me happy, and that was making people around me happy and speaking out finally. Because all it really was that I wasn't like speaking out loud enough. Like the most you got of me was a verse, and that was like the most of a conversation you're gonna get from me. You want to listen to me? Listen to my music, because I'm not talking to you. You feel me?
Why do you know why that is? Or you like the oldest? You were an introvert, like a lot of pressure, a lot of things that people don't understand. But like, what caused you to be a person who just ain't with the raps, you ain't with the shits?
I don't really I didn't. To be honest, I would be a liar if I sit here and make up a reason.
All right.
It was just me being a fucking clown for real. Like, you feel me? Like, because the reality is I wanted to talk to people. Like, I wanted to. My insecurities wouldn't let me even start a conversation like with the people it was people that I actually like looked up to in the underground industry in the city. You feel me? That I couldn't wait to see or bump heads with, and when I did, it was like the total opposite.
Right.
Like, I wanted to just walk over and be like, yo, I fuck with you. You inspire me.
Right.
I don't know if you know. And I didn't know how important that was to tell somebody that. So instead of me stepping outside of myself and telling somebody about themselves, I didn't say nothing at all.
Right. So what are you afraid of?
I don't think I'm afraid of nothing now.
Okay.
I was afraid of rejection.
Okay.
Because that's all I had my own grandma tell me, my mom tell me that I'm not going to be nothing. I'm going to be rapping all my life, and nobody's ever going to notice it or because she was miserable. And to be honest, a lot. And I'm just actually I had a conversation with my aunt Jackie like 2 weeks ago, and sometimes you have to understand where you come from to like understand certain versions of yourself. And it's not to use it as an excuse for your behavior, but it's to acknowledge that you don't have to be that way just because you came from that. And she basically was, and this is my first time speaking on, I mean, we just had a conversation about it, but it was so needed because it helped me realize like who my dad was and why he was the way he was and is. And me, like a lot of things she was telling me about my dad, mom, I heard a lot of me in it. And I was like, it was bittersweet because I'm happy that I'm not that person no more, but I really heard a lot of the old me in that conversation. And it was horrible because my grandma was miserable, God rest her soul. So yeah, it's about where you coming from, right?
All right.
And just to nip it in the bud, my aunt was saying how my dad, grandma, and mom was not really big on like excitement. They lifestyle was pretty simple, like get the money, F feelings, F emotions, and love wasn't in the household like that much. Not comfort, not just feeling that good energy. Everything was just so like one-sided. Like you ain't getting no money, you nothing. Like like them conversations that he can have with his grandmama or his mom, it wasn't allowed in the household. I'm gonna just use this as an example. My aunt Jackie said that, and my dad gonna hate this because he's like really like he strayed away from emotions a lot. But they was in the house and they was celebrating my dad like 20 something birthday. Like basically he way older, and my grandma like got very angry at my dad and like hit my dad because they was in there like laughing loud and having a good time, and she just was like, y'all too loud, like. And the party was just over, everybody went home, and it just killed the whole vibe, all because she didn't want him to be too happy in the house. Like, you feel me? So I don't know, it's just, I mean, that's not for nothing, but it is like, you feel me? Like, it just be little things that traumatize you as a kid. But my anger and my frustration and my misery and my depression came from like that. Like, I didn't have that like my dad's superhero, that's my dog, I always said. But we didn't have that relationship where like I know I can come run in my dad's arms when I was emotional, you know? It was, he kind of taught me not to speak on emotions because he didn't. Like I used to try to have conversations about my mom and he wasn't. I used to have to go to like my cousin or somebody to have them conversations about my mom. Like my mom best friend was my cousin. And I used to have to go to her for like information if I wanted to get inspired to write a record or something about her or something. Like I couldn't talk to my dad about that stuff. Like it's been damn near like 20 years, and I just got my dad to go to the gravesite with me like last year. Yep.
So in all despair, we there is a light somewhere. And for your grandmom to be in that crazy ball of confusion, I don't feel like she maybe have recognized what you've come to recognize. Like, wow, like this, as you said, the self-reflection. You started to reflect and be like, dang, like, I'm in my own way. Like, I need to look at things a little bit different, and that's why it's important to understand the history and the plights that our people, forefathers, grandmothers, whatever, go through. It's for us to learn from that and be better.
1,000%.
So, do you think that had an attributing factor to you being better of recognizing how she was?
1,000%. See, all right. So I'm gonna just clear this. Both of my grandmoms, my mom's side and my dad's side. I didn't have no relationship with my dad, mom. She passed away early on when my dad was younger. His grandma took care of him, but I didn't really get a chance to meet her. That's who I'm named after. But my mom, that was my best friend. You feel me? And that was like the first time I ever felt betrayed. A lot of things came to light, like family issues, like financial, like crazy stuff, and at this time, like me, I was real close with my grandma. I mean, I wasn't really that close with like a lot of my family members on my dad's side, and I really wasn't that close with her at first. But I have, like, we grown a relationship, and it done came and went so fast. You feel me? And that was like my first heartbreak, I would say. And from there, it was just, I don't know. I can't really.
So in your, if you, and I know you're not a fortune teller, but why do you know why you're going through all of this? Like the heartbreak and the disparities or the stress or the depression that you said that you spoke about.
And
Is it a reason for it?
In the midst of it, did I? Are you asking or now?
Now.
Yeah, of course.
Because we can't see it while we in it. Like,
no,
it's
1,000%, 1,000%. Now, for sure. It's so much that I thank God for, yo. Like, early on, like recognizing like what a heartbreak feel like, what betrayal feel like, what wanting something but knowing that you it's not more important than what God wants for you. All that I learned early on, and I'm still young as crap. You feel me? And I'm so thankful for everything. And at the time, whoa, bro, I used to want to die. Like, I literally tried to kill myself a few times. But now it's like, it's nothing nobody can get past me. It helped me grow faster. I'm still growing. It made me smarter. It made me wiser. It made me analyze things better. Understand that some people just do. Like, now if I get hurt, so I try to understand a person more of why they hurt me. You feel me? Like, maybe they're hurt. Or maybe it's just something they have to figure out about themselves with handling other human beings first. I don't know. It just be a lot. I don't know.
Do you blame yourself for anything? Like, it gets to a point where, like, because I see this all the time. If something happened to somebody, they question themselves. They're like, what happened? Or why? Like, what did I do? What didn't I do? So are you still at that point, or you look at it as it's them now?
No, I never, so I never tried to put the full blame on one. You know, like, even when I was younger, I used to try to figure out, like, so I was real troubled, you feel me? And I had a few stepmoms, like I would say like 3 solid stepmoms, because my dad just, I don't know, his attention span.
Right.
So I didn't get along with one of them, but the one that I did get along with, the one that I actually loved so much, she like left. She took a job in New York. My dad didn't want to go. And from there, he got with somebody else, and it was like real bad. Like, my dad would leave and it'd be bad. Like, he was working all the time. So he'll go to his job at the post office and shit. I used to think like my stepmoms would pick on me, but I couldn't really put my nose on why we would go at it so much. So I just used to just pick out stuff we both did. Right. Stuff we both did, but saying all that to say I did, like when I had conversations with my dad about it, I used to say, I didn't do nothing. Right. Like, I used to put it all on my stepmoms. Right. Like, it was nothing that I did wrong. And granted, some days it really wasn't nothing that I did wrong, but that don't count for whatever I did to just make them feel a certain way. But to answer your question, yeah, I never try to, because I understand that problems, there's no such thing as like one person being to blame for a problem between 2 people.
That's heavy.
How, right? And it'd be like this, right? Spend time with yourself and see if you get on your own nerves. Honestly, because I run away fast, right? For what it's worth, just one relationship for about 6 years. And it'll probably be me that's doing a breakup. Like, she probably don't ever really be trying to break up, but it'd be stuff that I don't let myself tolerate, that I probably can with growth. And my quickest the fastest thing I do is like run away. Like, I be like, all right, look, I can't do this. We need to break up, you know?
Right. That's deep. So speaking on even being by yourself, do you know how, or do you know what like self-love is? Like, what does self-love look like, and how do you initiate it, or what does it look like for you, basically?
I like how you said for you. All right, so I spent a lot of time by myself when me and my ex separated for about a couple years, and I realized that self-love is whatever you give others. Like, how you love everybody else is coming from within. Like, it's coming from yourself. You can't fake it. You can't run from it. I can't love on you. Like, I can't love you and share a certain type of love with you that I don't have to give. And I can't, well, me personally, I can't fake it. I literally watch somebody fake love for me, but I can't fake it. And 9 times out of 10, if it's fake, it's going to come to the light. And I don't know. I feel like self-love is giving whatever, I don't know, whatever come from you. Like, I don't know. Right. I just feel like nobody can like fully love somebody if they don't love themselves.
So I wanna ask you, just to get another perspective, to say like, can there be a person who can give love to people because that's what they thought that they should have got or never got, instead of loving themselves? So I feel like sometimes you can give love to people and not have it for yourself. Like, it's people out here that want to feel needed and they'll do anything to be
1,000%.
You know what I'm saying? Because there are some empty holes in their heart where they get their rocks off, or feel the acceptance of people needing them because it makes them feel worthy. Now, when I'm saying self-love, like, what does that look like in the dynamic of how do you make yourself happy? Because I believe this about anything. You can't get happiness. Like, anybody you're in a relationship shouldn't be your happiness. I think that you have to be your own happiness, and the person that you with has to add to it
1,000%,
or create it.
1,000%.
Or they have to add to it or have it themselves. If not, it's not going to work.
1,000%.
So for me, I'm just asking, what does self-love look like for yourself? Because I believe if you have self-love and you understand what it is for you, there are certain things that you won't tolerate due to the fact that you understand what self-love is. 1,000%. So that's what I mean. That's my pushback on that.
Okay, got it. So it's all like to each his own. But you're absolutely right. So self-love for me is, like you said, having a certain type of respect for yourself to not let no harm come to you mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever. And it is on how you carry yourself, you feel me? And just as simple as that. Like, I'm trying to find the right words or the right sentence to answer it. But it's just simply putting yourself first for your happiness sake, because that's what's first. And I think people be forgetting that. Like, people be so caught up in, this could make me happy, so let's go after this. Like, I see a lot of people like chase the materialistic things in a relationship from a person because they think the materialistic things are going to make them happy.
Facts.
But they don't chase the happiness. They just say, you have to do this because it makes me happy. You should do this for me. This is what makes me happy. Or they'll try to do things for themselves, like retail therapy or whatever, and just claim, that they. But I think all in all, it's just about building a relationship with yourself to the point where, like you said, you don't even need a person. And that's self-love. Like, being in love with yourself, being fully obsessed with yourself. Not your perfect self, because there's no such thing, but just the self that make you happy about who you are. And that's self-love. And hold up, to piggyback off of something that you said about people giving out the love that they want, I saw that firsthand. Like, I saw damaged people love hard, hoping that it heal wounds and fix heartbreaks that they dealt with, like childhood trauma stuff. Like, and you be tripping off that, like, all of that stuff that happened to you and it's still happening to you. Like, I gave out a lot of love around the time I was like super depressed. Like, I'm talking about like later on, like not as a child, but like recently, like when I was like super depressed, that's all I had was love to give, because I just needed that. You feel me? So I get it.
I just want to applaud you for being here, because I understand the anxiety that happens when we had conversations, right? I mean, not the anxiety. It's just like, it's somebody on the other end, and speaking on myself, if I may say so, that somebody who's not holding you accountable, but understand what you're going through and want the best for you and want to help. So I appreciate 100%. You for being here.
No, thank you for having me, honestly.
All that. And it's untraditional for what you might expect with the header of surface thinking. Lena, it's like, all right, it's about to be some rap shit, right?
Right.
So this is really the deep dive. It's no way people who had a perception of you don't look at you now and be like, dang, let me reach out to her.
No,
not like
1,000%.
a pity party, but
right.
Oh, I've been through that, or now I understand you, or now
1,000%.
your music resonates with me before, because now it makes sense. Because it's your truth, and now I understand it. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, you've walked through some dark alleys with no flashlight. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know. You know what I mean? So I feel like sometimes it's really about informing people about what's going on. So, small question, then it's a big question.
All right, got it.
Would you say that you're a rapper, or you would say that you are an artist?
Definitely an artist.
Okay. All right. So do you need rap music, or does rap music need you?
Both.
Okay.
if that's an okay answer, like can I
Yeah.
not for nothing, but I don't even know where I would be if I wasn't doing this. You feel me? And yes, I feel like now, probably not then, but if ever, then now is the time where I feel like not even just rap, the universe need the energy. You know what I mean? Like, God didn't fill me up with this just to leave it in the room with Chad. You feel me? And if he did, then Chad get to take it and give it to somebody else, and so on and so on. And I think, yeah, because I don't want to go left with it.
No, it ain't.
With the
answer.
answer.
It's an open-ended question. It's not no multiple
No,
choice.
for sure.
So
for
whatever
sure.
you feel, you know.
That's where the
it's up to you.
frustration comes, because I still get frustrated
Right.
with like not reaching a certain amount of audience, and it used to be because I want to just change my family's lives and put my dad in a mansion and tell him to stop working, but now it's like I want to help. Like I feel like just last night, I just want to say this, sometimes we be places we don't need to be to help someone that we need to help. So I was down my neighborhood where I didn't have no business down. I just rode past, parked my car, kicked it with my close friend real quick, and I stepped out the car to have a conversation with Na Schuler. Shout out to Na. And I was just standing out there like in front of the deli, and one of my childhood friends, he wasn't even living in the city. He just came back to the city. He was out Miami, and he stopped me like, "What's up? What you doing out here?" And I'm like, first of all, what you doing out here? I mean, you know this, like, my side of town, but you're absolutely right. I don't have no business being out here. But I'm like, I don't know. I was just talking to my folks, but what's up though? And I just saw it in his face, like, that he needed to have a conversation. But before I can even say, like, are you okay? We had like a 20-minute conversation just about like anxiety and depression and how the people who help people don't ever really like receive help when they need it. Right, for sure. And it's a gift and a curse, because you're not the one to say out loud that you need help, because you're just so busy worried about helping everybody else. And then the people don't even check to see if you need help because they so used to you helping them. So it just be like, you kind of look odd needing help when you helping everybody.
I was just talking to I had Naima in here. We was just talking about, I had her in here, and it was just like, sometimes you feel bad when you feel a call come through and you feel that it's a vent session for them. They coming in telling you about their problems. You might even want to talk about something. But when you hear their story, it's like, ain't no room for mine. Or it becomes the help. It'd be like, damn, your shit more fucked up than mine. So
it's a humbling experience.
Am I complaining, or am I tripping? Should I, you know what I'm saying? But I also realize this about people. People are so ignorant, and we use that word all the time, and it means bad stuff, just like submissive, but it's not what it really means. Ignorance is not knowing, but some of us are ignorant to not know that it's a little bit more than the surface. We go by perceptions of what people show, and we really don't try to go a little bit deeper than that. So, like, if you look like you okay, like, if you got on Yeezy boots and you got on an A hat, you good. Like, I don't need to ask you nothing, because you straight. You know what I'm saying? So it's always that one or two or three people who you really you open up to, and you like me, I hit you up. It's just it's a kinetic thing. I'm like,
1,000%.
Let me hit you. You good? You be like, Chad, I just really needed that. I appreciate you.
No,
and it don't
1,000%.
always be super like deep or like super in depth with what you're going through, but you just know that somebody else, regardless, because you literally got to care about people. You got to be able to put yourself in other people's shoes, whether you can fit them or not, just to understand other perspectives. And I feel like not enough of us are doing that. So when somebody uses you to feel better about themselves, they good. All right, I'm out. And then I'll be sitting here like, damn, like, I just helped you. So, like, do you have a circle of people that you just talk to?
You.
Stop it.
Honest shit. Because it be like this, though, right? You can have a conversation about whatever you want. But it really is about the connection and conversation. It's about the energy of the conversation, because I can go on and on with who I choose to have this conversation with, and we can be talking for like 30 minutes. And when the 30 minutes is up, it didn't really help or hurt. It didn't do nothing. It was just a conversation. And just to say this, though, right? You got to understand how much a person care about your well-being, or how just sometimes they just be wanting to be newsy. You know what I mean? Or just to hear your story to compare it to theirs, so they won't feel so fucked up. You know, like, instead of a genuine conversation. So you realize the difference between that, of course, like with a conversation with you than a random or whatever. But saying all that to say, I have like 5 good people that's like dearest to my heart around me, right?
Right.
And they all are used for different conversations. So saying all this to say, I got somebody I was friends with my whole life. Nothing could ever change. Nothing. That I the conversation I have with you, I probably won't have with them. You have to know your friends.
For sure.
And use them for what, and not to say use, because use is a wild word, like a muffle. Like, you using me? Like, right. But no, because we're here on this earth to be used. I be telling my chick, use me. Not for like, you know, yeah. Like, use me for what God gave me you for. You know, like, I'm tools.
Right.
I'm tools, and I want everyone to use the people around them for what they're for.
I think that's important that you said that, but I also feel like like one of the things that we have is we try to squeeze stuff out of people that ain't them.
1,000%.
Like, if you a kicker and you playing football, you a fucking kicker. And it's no disrespect that you're not versatile to be able to run the ball, catch the ball. It's better if I just use you for being a kicker.
You see what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
that's crazy.
And I've learned that as a parent, because I have this idea of what I want my kids to be, but I'm not learning them. So the goal is to unlearn everything and build up and learn it all over again.
1,000%.
You know, I sat down with my daughter and my son, and we had these like bar stools that we was putting together. I put one in front of my son, and I put one in front of my daughter. My son, he was able to put it together. He was looking at the directions, and he was able to put it together. My daughter was struggling with it, but I seen the good things she could do and the things that she wasn't as good at. And I was just like, instead of making you do this,
let me use the good things that you can do and let you just build masterpieces with that.
Tell him what to do.
1,000%.
And you lift it up. You the strong one. You the one with the mind. And I feel like so many times, just like, that's why I just don't understand. I don't think that we're good at dating. I don't think that across the board, any race, any culture is good at dating. I don't think we know it. Like, we have this idea what we want, and if we're dating this person, they have to be that. I think that you literally got to figure out what's for you. Who's for you?
1,000%.
When you close both of your hands together, it is an inner lock amongst your hands. Not like this. Not like, it has to be perfect. So who's perfect for you? What type of person? Who? And I don't think that we focus on that. So for you to say, I use my friends in the right position, guess what? If somebody do something to you crazy, you know who to call, who gonna bring them 40s out?
It's people like Tia. That's not like, that's my whole heart. My sister Tia, right? And I know what she's capable of doing for me. I'm not gonna call her for it. You know what I mean? Like, she can do the same thing a friend of mine's ready to go back to jail and do. And guess what? Like, I'm not going to use my friend that's ready to go back to jail to send them back to jail. I can. It's clear as day. But my friend that's willing to go back to jail can also draw pretty good. You know what I mean? Right. Like, have qualities of being great. I'm not going to take the bad things that you're good at
and use it for you.
And use it for...
Right. It's weird.
Like, bro...
It's super cowardice to do that, because you know who you can call, one button and it's on, and you don't even think about
1,000%.
We don't think about the impulse that we have. We don't think about what could go wrong. Like, you my Superman, but guess what? This hood Superman is Superman.
1,000%.
So what's gonna happen? There ain't gonna be no tie.
We were just talking about that too. Wow, me and my folks that just came back to the city. Like I'm like, dang, what's up? Have you been down the way? Like our other end where we grew up at. And he like, yeah, but they don't want me to be down there. They say I'm too high profile. You feel me? Like that. And I hear that a lot, like with my peers. And then it also made me think about my friends, quote unquote, that do be like, oh yeah, come down or come to the shootout. Like, you feel me? Like,
Right.
and he was like sad a little bit. And I'm like, what you mean? Yeah, you the ticket. Like, and everybody around you should treat you as such, because that's going to show the respect, love. That's going to show the, because I want the respect first. First, you can love me and disrespect me. I want the respect first, so that's going to show the respect that your peers have for you. No, you can't chill out here with us, bro. It's too much going on. They shooting you. This is instant putting your life in harm's way. I'm not. You gotta understand, for real, man. He was tripping off that like mad, and I was mad that I had folks that told me to come down the way, and they going through war. You feel me? So it just.
That's how I used to be. Like, if you was
just
a
gotta
baller
know.
or you played football or you was a basketball player, like the hood didn't allow you to. You ain't no. You can't
Shit's
be
so
down here.
different now,
Yeah.
though. Football players getting shot in their hood and selling drugs, and like doing the most because of with it, like the inspiration that's around them, and it just be like, you gotta sit. Sometimes you gotta sit back by yourself, like I just told you in the beginning of this conversation. I had to be like by myself and understand like where I belong. Like, what the heck, where.
I've had the opportunity for myself, and I'm blessed because I have a cheat code. My cheat code is my kids, and I want to be the greatest father and be present for them. So that's what keeps me sane. But I've created a mental mansion for myself. So my house is my mansion, right? So I don't really know. Like, I walked to the store one day and I see all these teddy bears and candles outside. And I'm like, damn, somebody got killed right here. I wouldn't have never known. So for me, I'm oblivious to really what goes on because I rarely watch the news. So is it really that bad out here?
It is.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, like I said, to each his own, though. Like, you can be this person that don't really look at stuff too much. Like, like, and understanding that, yeah, we're gonna die, and it is sad how we die, but it's gonna happen. So it's just like whatever, right? And then you get stories like somebody you went to school with just got killed with their mom. Like, him and his mom just was murdered. Like, it was that serious to where they killed this man and his mom. Like, the average story you hear on somebody that got killed was, yeah, they caught him lagging out, coming outside or such and such. And his mom, they shot him in front of his mom. Not, they just shot him and his mom. Like, what the? So I guess it's about like, cause I hear crazy stories about murders and stuff, right? And they don't really do nothing to me because I don't know the person. But I think it'd be different, like when it's like close to home or. So and I'm already overly dramatic. Like, I'm just like, you feel me? So that's just coming from me, but you might have a conversation with the next person, like, nah, man, niggas just in the way. It ain't that bad out here. But if you asking me, yes, it's different. It's different times because like I'm suffering like PTSD and anxiety and just the average person, like we all are.
Right.
But since childhood shit, I think most of my PTSD and my anxiety came from like Chad. I told you, like, bro, still to this day I can't sleep at night. So it's good that I write. It's good that I'm a writer, and it's good that I don't sleep at night. They are my hours. But before realizing that and understanding that, I had to get up for school. I was working at one point. I had to get up for work. And when I was in middle school and high school, I used to have like NyQuil by my bed, drinking it so I lost a lot of people from, I would say, like the 6th grade on out. Like, I started like losing like classmates, schoolmates, neighborhood, childhood friends, and it was crazy. But I don't think nothing was as crazy as these times. Like, it was, oh yeah, my fault. Like, rest in peace, Shanquell. That was like one of the first deaths that hit. And then it'd just be like, oh, how she died? Oh, she got hit by a car. How he died? Oh, he got shot. Like, everybody's getting shot in their neighborhood because they going through it, or they folks going through it, so they got them, whatever. But now it's just what happened to her? They found her in the trunk and balled up in saran wrap. Like, what the? I just think like just these times alone, it's like, it's crazy. I guess it goes with time. Like, people been was getting found in trucks and all that, but for my generation it's different because I'm just used to the average death.
Are you numb to it now? I mean, because you're saying from 6th grade on,
right?
It's been an exponential amount of deaths.
I just think from 6th grade on, it was like getting closer and closer. Like it was times where it hit right there. Like, you know, we lost people, and then it went back. So I think the anxiety and just me feeling anything from it come from me being paranoid about it hitting home again. You know, like I think if anything, because like I understand death because I understand life, but it's not a good thing losing somebody flat out.
So does that? I mean, that's the epitome of PTSD, right? Like I think, and that's not to take whether it's severe for other people or it's minimal for others, but I went paintballing with my homies, and like after the match, you do 2 matches, and after the matches, you come down out of the woods and you basically go back to the base. And as we were going back to the base, I just keep hearing these footsteps, and I'm like, all right, I hear footsteps. And then they just keep getting closer. So somebody's running. So I turn around and I'm terrified. It was a white dude just running. He was just trying to get, I don't know, he probably had to go to the bathroom or something. But he was running past it. And this other dude, and I was thinking it in my head, but this other black dude that I actually was just walking next to, he's like, hey man, you can't be running like that.
No,
we got PTSD. And I'm like, yo, it's because like I ain't never been in nothing. I ain't never killed nothing like that crazy. Same. But I get out the car with my gun under my underarm every time, just because of I know what has happened to other people.
1,000%.
People just being at the wrong place at the wrong time.
1,000%. There you go, right there.
So it's just like it's scary to be like that. And for you, I'm asking you, it's just like not necessarily does it make you numb to it, but does it make you stagnant? Like, does it make you slow up your growth because of?
Definitely not.
Okay.
It used to though. Like I wouldn't come outside. Yo, are you like, so I lost my mom when I was like a baby, like 1 going on 2, like 2 years old. So I didn't really. Like a lot of people think like you lost your mom early on. That was like your first loss. To be honest, and I don't want this to come out wrong or nobody hear this the wrong way, but I'm gonna say it how I feel. That losing my mom wasn't really a loss for me. You know what I mean? Like if anything, I think it was a gain more than anything. The things that I got to experience and the things that I've learned about her, kind of like I was just like, okay. I was content with the loss of my mother at one point. So that wasn't like my early childhood trauma. Like I said, that shit started from when I was old enough to understand like that person is never coming back. Like, dang, we used to be on a bus every day on our way to school every day. That was my dog, and I'm not ever. So it'd just be. But double back on the question to answer your question. Do it make you numb, stagnant? No, no. I'm always just because I'm a visionary. Like just because like my mind is like moving like 100 miles per hour a second. You feel me? Like no, for real. Like I'm always thinking about the most extreme. Like yeah, like I lost a parent. I don't want to, cause my dad he like a Rolling Stone. Like he out and about. And I don't want to lose my dad just by him being in the wrong place. And my dad be around. And I don't want, like, you know, when any of my close friends, I still have 2 brothers that's out here. I don't know. It just be like a lot to think about because I know how sudden it could be. I know, like, us having this conversation right now, something could be going on right now. And that's me all day. And I guess it's I guess I have to, like, navigate my thoughts better for sure. But it's just, like,
it kind of helps you never take things for granted.
1,000%.
Like any conversation you have with somebody, and you shake their hand or you give them a hug, it just means more because this could be the best time I ever.
1,000%.
You know what I mean? So let me ask you this: in your toughest times growing up, like losing your mother so early, it wasn't like you had that deep, big connection of like I remember when she took me to the store.
Right, and that's why.
So it comes back. It's not that it doesn't have that impact. So I'm just saying, in your deepest, darkest times of going through things, does that make you think of your mother more? Like, dang, if you was here, maybe you could have changed this for me or whatever. So is that harder, do you think, than actually having legitimate memories?
Who was I just talking to about this? About like the loss of my mom, like not having no memories of her versus I was talking to Johnny Mac, right? And we talked about that, like me losing my mom. And this is exactly what I said, and it's what I've been saying to myself, because it took me a lifetime to like fathom like thoughts about that, because it is like all over the place. I think it was mostly because she was murdered, and that's irritating me. But saying all that to say, losing that, because that's something, like, you see how we're building a moment right now that we can remember, that our folks can remember. This can be a memory, you know. And she was murdered, and the person who murdered her took away all that could have been. And I be tripping off for the what ifs a lot, and I think that hurt more than, well, just from my perspective, because I can compare it. So God forbid if I lose my dad right now, I would be in pain thinking about all of our memories. But you know what I'll be tripping off? The memories that we didn't get to have yet. Like, you know, like, dang, it was just about to be his birthday. Dang, I was just about to fly out. I wanted to tell him about this. So when we lose people, well, when I lose people, I think about the times that we could have spent more, the most. Saying all that to say, I didn't spend no time with my mom. And that, a lifetime worth of that. Like, my milestones, when I got my license, when I graduated, when I went on prom, when I got my new spot, when I got my car, all that shit is so painful to think about when it comes to her, because they're wanted memories. So I think.
So does that come with every part of success that you have?
Yes.
Everything.
Yeah. Just even like, cause like I said, I had a few stepmoms that it didn't work out, but I've grown relationships with like my step siblings more than anything, and I know, like, I watched their relationship with their mom. Like, one of my siblings that I'm like, we've been close way before my dad and her mom even was dealing. I'm watching their relationship right now, you know. So I be thinking about like all of it. Like, will we have a dope relationship? I don't know, you know. But all I do know is that I wanted to know, and that shit hurt, Chad. Like, that shit be eating me up. I be like frustrated. Like, I be tripping off that shit. Like, yeah, that shit was snatched away. Like, super. I think the most we got, at least she got to know who I was, you know, like. Right. But no, I don't have nothing. I think the most I had was like a video of her like getting ready for my cousin's wedding, and I watched that like when I was super young, and I still see that video. Just to hear her, like, she had like a raspy, like a deeper voice like me, and she was like just like me, bro. Right. like for real. And I be like, I'm loud now. Like, I say what I want, because it kind of, it don't even just, it's not to prove a point, but it's to get it, because I can't hold it. I can't bite my tongue. And they like, yo, your mom was just like that. Like, I don't know, just yeah, that's just wild.
What are you on this earth for? Like, what is your purpose?
I think it's to like help people.
Okay.
No, like, it's cliche as hell, because I really feel like everyone's purpose should have a lot to do with leaving an impact on the next person. Okay. Even though that's probably not the case. You know, like, I watch people come and like go, literally. Like I said, like, I went to like disciplinary school, and I say the disciplinary school stuff a lot because it's alternative school. So it's different neighborhoods, different people. It's good people who is just misunderstood in there, artists like myself. And I ran into like a lot of good souls, right? But I also ran into like a lot of stagnant souls who was just like here, and then he did something and he died, but you don't even know what they even wanted to do while they was here. And then there's some people who ain't want to do nothing, that just was here, went to jail a couple times, came home from jail, and died. Like, or people that was here and just got depressed and just took themselves out. I watched it. These are people that I grew up with. And so, what was your question? What do you think people purpose is on life, or mine?
Yours.
Yeah, to help people.
Okay.
And I'm encouraging everyone else to find ways to help people, but start with like yourself. I think my purpose was to find my purpose first, and then use it to impact people.
My purpose.
Hell yeah. It took a long time to understand, like, yo, you here for this, yo. So stop playing, because he giving you. It's like I felt God sparing me a few times. Like, I was in shootouts, bullets over my head. Like, I was in events where they were shooting. Like, I was close to death like a few times, and I think that's where PTSD came from too. But I don't speak on it a lot because all I care about is the fact that I'm still here. Right. And it's a reason because the bullet could have hit me, you know? So yeah, it was figuring that out. And I think that's where my frustration came from when I was depressed and stuff, because I was just like, I don't feel no purpose of being here. Like I wanted to out myself a few times. And there's a reason why I didn't do that too. But
did you sign up for that, right? So like you say your purpose is to help people, but is that something that you really signed? Did you sign a permission slip to do that though?
Right. No, I think shit just happened that way. Like, you know, like I think so I'm not done my journey, I guess, right? And I'm not done growing. But I think what I've learned so far is enough to help the next person. Like I just had somebody DM me yesterday, and I don't post my DMs unless like I drop a project and I'm posting my reactions. But I don't post like deep jones like that. But I was about to, saying all that to say, because like the response, like the way I'm responding, tells a lot too. Like I just pay attention to a lot of stuff, and if it wasn't meant for you to do that, you wouldn't have been able to do that. Like I probably wouldn't have knew how to respond to them. But the sum it up, the DM was basically like how, because I stress that I don't drink and smoke a lot. But the reality is I do drink occasionally, and just last month I did try smoking because like my anxiety just was getting worse, and I don't believe in like doctors and getting help from like the hospitals and stuff. So I try home remedies and conversations with God. So I guess I just try to smoke weed. But it didn't work. But seeing all that to say, they like, how do you get through stuff? I know you don't smoke, drink. So I made sure I told them that I do drink occasionally. And I did try smoking. And it wasn't my first time trying to smoke. I popped pills at one point to feel numb. Just giving them that side of me, because your first thing that you said when you DM me was, I know you don't smoke, drink, or do drugs, but I do. And how do I cope with life without it? Because I see you doing it, and I saw that you was depressed. But I just be wanting to put everything out. And in order to help someone, you have to be honest with them, right? About who you are. So I had to like confess that I tried to get through my shit with like drugs and stuff too. But I also stressed how that didn't help. And I told them, if I can reread the message back, but it was overall just, it's about getting right with yourself and God first, or whatever you believe in. Because I believe in God. I don't try to put that like on everybody, because I don't have a religion. I believe in God, but so I don't be trying to put like that on people, because whatever you believe in, cure as a candle, bro. Just put your faith in what you know, because most of our depression and stuff come from just trying to be the perfect person for the world. Get right with yourself. Accept yourself. I told them, accept who you are, flaws and all. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to have shitty days where you wake up and just don't want to talk to nobody. Like, and that's what I be trying to tell like my partner. Like, it's not true. It's going to be days where I just need some space real quick. I'm not cheating. I don't want nobody else. That's who I am. And accept the version of yourself at the time, because I told them, like, you still got so much time to grow. Like, who you are today is not your tomorrow. It's like, whatever. Like, fuck it. And I just said, stop giving a fuck so much. Like,
what do you need?
All I ever like need, I used to think that I needed to like make it, like with the music stuff or like, whatever. And I used to think I needed money and all this stuff like to help people. But I just need to keep getting better. I just need to keep being guided. I need guidance still and forever, because there's always room to grow. And I just need to keep myself this time, because it's so easy to lose yourself. Saying all that to say, I don't know. I it's nothing I need. And if it is, God will show me. But right now, I'm not like content with who I'm are. I'm just happy with who I am now. So it'll just be like, saying all this to say, like, I used to be scared to die. Now I'm okay. Like, if all of this meant this right here, Chad, like if this is the story for me, I'm cool with it, because it's kind of dope. Like, I would kind of like want to be me if I watched this shit from 10 years ago and now. Like, oh shit, that was hot. And I used to want the most extreme. Like, I wanted to be the richest, most famous artist in the world. I don't even want that no more. Honestly, I don't. I'm actually scared to get too much money because I feel like it's gonna compromise my character, and if not my character, the people character around like that I love theirs. Like I'm scared to like see somebody like betray me over the amount of money I have or I'm about to get, or
What is the key that's needed for you to not be guarded? Like, what's the key to unlock you being guarded? Because you are so futuristic.
Mm-hmm.
You're so like you're a visionary.
Mm-hmm. I think I hit a lot right.
But what happens?
Drawn.
What happens when you're a visionary and you overthink?
You have Lena L. That's what happens. Yo, I feel like that's just like another bittersweet thing about myself, because overthinking gets me out of a lot of trouble. Like I'll be fucking I'll be heated, ready to blow somebody's head off. And I just be like, no, then you're gonna go to jail, and then you're not gonna be able to like help your dad. Then your son, like he needs you. Like I'll go there, and that got me out of a lot of times where I was really. I'm not lying to you. I was literally was about to blow people's head off. Like what the fuck? And my temper crazy. Like so there you go. Like I'm not no perfect nothing. Like I still got my temper to work on, a lot of things. But I feel like overthinking is my bittersweet. Yeah, it's the most bittersweet thing about myself. Cause like, bro, I be overthinking myself like out of like great opportunities, great ideas. Shit, weird.
So, can trust compromise that?
Absolutely, because you want to know what happened. Times where like I was overthinking, I wasn't like putting my trust in nothing. Like I wasn't putting my trust in God and what He had planned for me and like people around me. Nothing. I was kind of being selfish in a sense. Like I was thinking about everything like I was by myself. But the reality was I'm not. Why are you thinking like that? You're not even by yourself. So that's been me my whole life though. Like feeling alone, even times where like I probably wasn't alone, but I've never looked for the help and I never put my faith or trust in like another person. Or God, honestly. Like, building that relationship with God, for real. Like, that's, like, the most important thing. Because even, like, I even be thinking myself out of that, too, sometimes. Like, I be fooling, like, wait, is it a God? Hold on, wait, no, chill, don't do that.
All right.
Like, you feel me? Like, I be like, yo, it's just, I don't know. That's just me.
So what does happiness look like?
Happiness look like look, I'm thinking about a freaking commercial right now. What is wrong with me? No, honestly, happiness look like your skin is clear, right? It look like it's all clear now. You know what I mean? Like happiness. I don't fucking Chad. I don't know because honestly, I can honestly tell you that I am like the happiest I ever been, but I'm still paranoid.
Okay.
But I still have bad anxiety. Okay. But I still think about people I lost sometimes. That make me sad and cry.
All right.
So it looks like whatever's on you in at the time, bro. Like.
But. And I'm always going to challenge you because I don't want you to ever feel like I'm just rocking with you. So, does you being the happiest you ever been, does that even show happiness? Because you could have been through so many. It's an indication that this is the happiest you ever been. But just because this is the happiest you ever been, does that still make you happy?
Yo, I'm glad you put it in that perspective. I think happiness look like nothing.
What you mean?
Where like happiness don't have a image to it.
Okay.
It's like something internal as fuck.
All right.
You know what I mean? Because like I said, you can still feel whatever emotion being happy.
All right.
Because you want to know I think happiness looks like fear.
Okay.
Where like you can be so happy that somebody can not want to see it so much, and try to like intervene with that. Like, you ever been around somebody who's like so miserable? And you so happy,
right.
And they just fucking kill your whole vibe. okay, so fear, and I'm gonna just say fear because from my perspective, what I fear while being happy is somebody ruining it, and me letting somebody ruin it, or me ruining it myself.
For yourself. So what do you think? I mean, there is an acronym that fear is face everything and rise, or face everything and run. So there is courage and fear. You know what I'm saying? But understanding the power of where you are and where you're trying to go. Like, I'm not saying that it's impossible. I just feel like we can't allow nobody to have that power over us to steal. You know what I'm saying? Like the song, first of all, she's my favorite artist ever. Anita Baker is like, you bring me joy. Like, that can't be a person. That has to be reflective of what you can do for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And
1,000%.
it's like, people have agendas, man. And it's like, if we don't understand what's what happiness looked like for me, like, I got to be able to recognize it. So if I can recognize it, I can recognize what is not happiness. And then it's like, oh, I'm walking in this crib and it feel like I'm walking into a funeral. Oh, no. All right, y'all.
No, 1,000%.
I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
1,000%.
So it's just recognizing happiness, keeping it, and trying to be around anything and everything that keeps you happy.
100%. It's also one of those 1,000%. First of all, not justifying it, but it's also one of those things. Why the fuck did I just lose what I was about to say? Am I dumb? It'll come back, I swear.
So, you know what's crazy about this interview? I haven't asked you about your music. Right?
Yeah, but we don't ever really...
We don't talk about music, but I'm going to tell you why. Because your music is... I know this sounds old. Your music is out of sight. That's easy to talk about. Like, I literally could talk about your music on here, right?
1,000%.
Because I love it. It's so indicative to who you are, and it's really a conversation without talking to you.
1,000%. I appreciate you.
But I just think that the perception of a person who makes music to the ignorant makes it feel like you got it all under control. And I'm not really concerned about Lena L, the artist.
Okay.
I'm always like, you making music? Cool. I'm glad that you're happy doing that.
Right.
But how you?
How are you?
Like, how you? What's going on? What's new in your neck of the woods? You know what I'm saying? Because I think internally, that helps the music. It's somebody out here that, like, I never want you to feel like, yo, you called me when the loot and stuff happened and them people died in that car accident. I felt so happy that you were able to look in your phone and call me to talk about it.
Real.
You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So, like, for me, I love your music. We can talk about music all the time, but I could care less about it because
that definitely just come with it. Not to cut you off, but I fell in love with Nipsey Hussle about, I'm gonna say, like 2010.
Okay.
And I didn't even hear one song yet. I ran into a little mini documentary on YouTube of him, like, going through Crenshaw, just talking about him, his upbringing, his daughter, his neighborhood, and then him. And what I saw was like a fearless person first, not even an art. Like, I didn't even after that, I kind of didn't even care to listen to a song, to be honest, because he was from LA, and I just, like, I don't know, it's weird. I don't really be inspired by their music out there, but it's like, whatever. I was looking for more interviews like that. Like, I wanted more of him. And then it was like, all right, if he dropped, I'm going to tune in. But saying all that to say, Crenshaw was my favorite project from him because it was literally everything I ever watched of him in a project. And I sent the album, like, to so many people, like, listen to this, but they were just like, I can't get into this. And I was like, all right, you know what? Watch this interview, then forget the and I hearing that from you. The music is just like another thing to me, but I want people to want to know me more than wanting to just play my music, honestly, because, like, I don't know, I'm fucking cool as hell. And I don't know, more of this, though, because you just never know what it'll do for somebody, you know? Sure. And you, like, this conversation, I just wanted everywhere. Like, you know what, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying, like, I want the world to hear us.
This is your greatest interview you ever did. And that's no disrespect to nobody else. And I'm going to tell you why, though, because this is so reflective this is literally a yearbook. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be able to watch this and be like, look at my thoughts. Look how meticulously look at that growth.
Yep.
I would have never said that 3 years ago.
And I would have never said that to that person.
Right. Or, wow, I just talked about the, and I just feel like,
not to cut you off. God's timing is vicious. Like during this time where like I'm becoming more free, like exploring more, we finally had this conversation to the public, because me and you would sit at the studio, in the car, wherever, on the FaceTime, and had these conversations that I be wanting to, like, people to hear, bro. Like I just be like, yo, and wasn't I like I was on your ass for months, like let's do it, and it just was like, I'm like, this boy chat. I'll text you like, yo, let's do the interview, right? And you'll be like, all right, we gonna lock in. And then you'll call me, and then we'll have like a full-blown interview on the phone. I'll be like, yo, what the? But God's timing is immaculate, like literally perfect. Like the way everything is just coming together now is just like, yep, okay. It was this time. And that's another thing, like in life, just period, not just as an artist. You just gotta know and understand God's timing. That's it. That's it. You want what you want when you want it, but it just be like, when he wants you to have it, you'll get it. Shut up.
Facts.
Like, shut up, ugly.
I just want to let you know from my perception and my perspective of my opinion, which means nothing, but it's just, thank God I got the opportunity to talk about it. You are so amazing, right?
Appreciate you.
You're so dynamic, and this should teach people that there is something amazing about the quiet. It's something so amazing, and my job always, this is what surface thinking is about. I don't care about how you dress. I don't care about that, because I know I can find something that you might not tell people, and I just feel like
1,000%.
I mean, I've been told things that I would have never thought that somebody would tell me. It's like, I feel like, dang, you tell me this out of everything, and it's just like, I'm supposed to know this because you're supposed to talk about it. And people talk about stuff so fast when they come down here, and it's just like, you've been wanting to talk about this. You know what I mean? I just gave you the opportunity, or we. And that's your purpose. Listen, your purpose. I don't want to get paid for this. I mean, bringing people. Hold up. Listen, I ain't gonna say that, but I'm gonna just say like.
No, it feels that good. This. It feels that good, honestly. Like people hit me in my DMs, like I just emailed you for a feature, and I was like with all due respect, not right now. Like you know, like it'd be like. Money, it's no amount of money that can compare to the way I'm feeling about just embracing what God gave me right now. Like the money, it's not gonna ever go, like it's meant to come with it, and I'm not even tripping off of it. But let me just embrace the free real fast. Like you feel me? Like yes, I charge you $3,000 for a 12 right now. Okay, but then what? Like you feel me? Like I know that deep down inside, I'm writing that verse for that $3,000. And I just want to do everything organically right now, real quick, because not on a cocky side of shit, but I know this shit is going to happen whenever it is, right? I'm not worrying about that. I'm worrying about the moment that I'm in. Like, it's so soothing. And hold up, though, because I've been through some shit, so this shit feel like a big celebration to me. Let me just, like, embrace this right now. So I'm not doing features right now. You feel me? Like, paid features. I only want to create. I'm not really like charging nobody for my energy right now, because if God placed us in a room, then it's kind of like fate, and I don't want to put no money on it. You feel me? So not saying I'm doing features for free, because I'm just not going to do them at all. Right. But the features that are supposed to get done and the energy that is supposed to be like transferred and shared upon one another, I'm just accepting that. I want all the organic shit first, because I'm going to tell you one thing that I know. I'm not in a rush to be a part of a wicked ass industry, where that's just like based off of like money or what you can do for somebody, even if they can't do it for you, or whatever. You compromising your true self. And not saying I'm ever going to do that, but I'm saying like I'm not in a rush to get to that industry, because either way, they going to hate me either way, because I'm on. You like Chance the Rapper? Do you pay any attention to him at all? I'm going to just say this, right? Not big on the music. It's his morals and integrity for me. Like what the labels offered him multiple times. And he just chose happiness first, and his self over any offer. It was like nothing. you can't pay for him. You know what I mean? Like he.
So I'm gonna tell you something. Maybe you might look at it in this perspective or not.
All right.
My first genre of music is R&B. I love R&B. That's
Mine too.
That's my vibe, right? So when you ask me about artists and things like that, I understand the industry from just being doing management and understand how things move. I look at it totally different. Ellen DeGeneres, I talked about this one time on one page. She I think it's top 3 of people who pay for followers, right? So for me, it's like Ellen DeGeneres come on 3 o'clock, blue eyes, everybody love her. She dance with the crowd, Twitch, everybody love her. She giving stuff away from Walmart and all of that. Why would she ever need to buy followers?
That's deep,
right? So then it's like Chance the Rapper, like the people that you. That's why just me being Muslim, no idol worshiping, right?
Okay.
Because Chance the Rapper, I love everything you said. I love he sold $3 million off his hats and he can't be bought and all of that. But is that true? Like, is he really independent?
Right.
Or is it a back deal with Apple?
But that's my overthinking right there. Like, but just, excuse me, it'd be the idea of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to just not take it back, but I want to backtrack off of what I was just saying. I use that idea of a person as an example for my true self. You know what I mean? Like, and like I said, sometimes we do get inspired by frauds. And not saying he is, but I'm just saying sometimes, like, Hove been my favorite artist, rapper, entrepreneur for my whole life, damn near. Because my dad put me on Hove, like, when I was little, right? Until Nipsey, and I think Nipsey was my new Hove because he was like more, it was like more authentic with it. Like he gave you inside and out. And Hove, it just was like he told you you could do it with proof that he did it, but he don't really show you how to do it, like the real blueprint. And I think Nipsey was like the ultimate, not to compare it, but it broke my heart when I saw the difference and like when I did start tuning in to Nipsey like 10 years ago. And I was like, yo, like people really be capping about wanting to like see everybody do it. Like it, I think that's like part of like the image to sell or whatever. But it just be like, Hove has something like I'm going through it, so you gonna have to go through it, right? But it'd be like, all right, well, what did you do to not go through it no more? Like, you know, or what did you do to save yourself? We don't, Chad, we don't have that from, and we can go bar for bar, we can go track for track with Hove. That's my dog. But I can also tell you what Nipsey told me to do. Like, you feel me? I can't do that with Hove. And it's just like, damn, all this time. Like, so yeah, saying all that about the Chance shit too. It is artists in the industry that's like, handmade puppets who are sent to act like fuck the puppets. Like, you know, like, what the fuck type of shit is like, bro? Like, you are dead ass sent to tell us fuck them up in the office. They don't know nothing about this shit. We doing it for the culture and whole time. Like, yo, that shit wild.
You ain't going into the offices. They cash apping you. You know what I'm saying?
But I can within my soul, I will put whatever on the fact that Nipsey is definitely one of the authentic ones, and this not because he died, none of that. I got full proof. He told us when he partnered up with the labels and everything, and broke it down. Like, yo, honestly, bro, like, so I think Nip like one of the. So I can't have this conversation about Chance. Like, I can't back and forth you with Chance. Like, no, Chad, you tripping. He ain't do no backdoor to it because stuff I don't know, but I could tell you that I'm 100% sure about Nipsey. I don't.
All right. And I can tell you not 100%.
Right, no, but that's another conversation. No, that's another conversation.
Even though I believe it too, but it's crazy because, and I learned this way of thinking as I got older, because I was willing, and that's why it's crazy, because I was willing to argue with my dad about wrestling. Like, what? Undertaker and Kane, they brothers. They mom and dad burnt up in the fire. Like,
all right,
Paul
there
Bear,
you go.
Like you tripping. How you don't know The Rock? What?
That shit hurt my heart, yo, when I found out that wrestling
Kane
was like,
don't have no face. Like, that's why he got the match.
Dang, yo.
You know what I'm saying?
No, word.
And they play on the... It's grown people out here it's like, Dad, like, why is all these grown people screaming, like, all of this? Like, you tripping. And he like, that's not real, right? I mean, they sell it to us all the time. Santa Claus, all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The Bugs
No,
Bunny,
1,000%.
Easter Bunny, all of that. But what I'm just
No,
saying
1,000%.
is just like, we gotta navigate through all that to find our own real
1,000%.
You know
and that's what I'm saying. Like, even when it come down to it, it's about giving the people enough to find purpose within themselves.
Facts.
Even if you're not giving them all of you, or not saying fraud. I don't fucking know what world that is, but I'm saying, like, even if you feel like it's just this side of the story you want to give them, just give them enough to be like inspired to be. That's it. I think that's it, because it's not enough people in the world telling everybody that it's like they can do it, whatever it is. The music industry became so selfish that they think the whole world want to be artists, right? To where they made the whole world want to be artists. Like, he was a football player, he was a basketball player, now he rapping. What has this? Y'all spent so much time trying to close the door. That's how I opened it. And now my cousin, who the COVID messed up him being in school for college, for football, he's rapping now. Not literally, I don't have a cousin that plays football, but that's the story. Like, everybody is stepping outside of who they are because
this is like an easy button.
Because they trying to find an easy way out. Like, bro, why did you stop playing ball again?
But that's really reality. I mean, don't you ask me. I was rated one of the top 88th graders in the city, right? Went to high school, went to Dobbins, Randolph, or whatever. And when I went there in my mind, 9th grade, I was going to the league. Is you kidding me? I'm fucking going to the league. Got there, seeing girls with big butts. Dudes with state prop coats with beards. I wanted to be like them. So that is a way to basketball. Fuck basketball.
1,000%.
I'm not even tall like that, like I thought I was.
There you go.
It's the reality of what you see that goes against what you really want to do.
1,000%.
So I understand why you ain't playing ball no more.
No, for sure.
What?
But no, I want to teach people to not even just teach, a show, in a sense, like, help people understand how important it is to hold on to what they know. You know what I mean? Because the reality is, you can try to take the fast way out all you want. You can try to take the coolest way out all you want. It's always going to end with you feeling like you should have did what you were supposed to do. Like, whatever. Like, honestly, nothing pulled me away from the music shit. Not depression, not wanting to die, nothing. Everything I ever done in life, anywhere I ever moved, led me back to music. And that's when I knew. You know what I mean? Like, just surprising myself with, like, new verses, like, growth in that. Because I just be obsessed with, like, growth alone, not even just with me. Like, seeing somebody, and I'm like, wow, yo, I'm proud. Like, I bet you nobody told you they was proud. Like, just, I just want to tell you I'm proud of you. Just growth alone is a beautiful thing. So that's where most of my growth came from. Write a verse, 3 months later, I got a crazier verse to where that verse I wrote 3 months ago, I'm willing to get that away. Not selling that, you can have it. That shit is, I can't even listen to my old music, like, ugh. Right. And to think one day, like, here I go again overthinking that, hi, I'm Lena, and Lena is gonna be like, what is that? One day, right? It's wild as hell.
Yeah, I just want to say I appreciate you for being here. This is amazing. Like, we could talk for another 16 hours. I know when this is over, we about to bust it up
1,000%.
But I just appreciate you for being here, and I hope that this is something that, like you said, a yearbook that you could come back and see. Like, all right, I ain't talked to too many people about this, but me and Chad talked about that, and let me go reflect on how I'm not even like that no more, and that was 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Ew.
I appreciate you for being here.
Word. It's always a pleasure.
Tell everybody about everything that you want them to know about.
Oh my God. Yeah. No. Shit. Just first and foremost, don't die without living, right? Don't die without finding your purpose, and if your purpose isn't dying, then I don't know. That's just what it is. Not to be on no deep ass shit, but honestly, I want to end it off like that. And I don't know. Hi, I'm Lena, coming soon. Y'all know I don't get y'all piped up with dates, no matter how much I know when I'm going to drop. Hi, I'm Lena Deluxe, coming soon. More visuals. No more interviews. That's it though. No more interviews. This is it. Yeah. More excitement, more life, more conversations with Chad in the tuck.
I appreciate that. Yo, this is Service Thinking with
Word.
Lena.